from Trust Your Intuition. How are you all doing on this fine afternoon? Okay, I am jumped on today because I had a beautiful message come through to me, and it makes my heart swell with pride and joy when I receive such lovely messages on how much I help and change people's life for the best. Okay, I just wanted to share my gratitude with you all, just to say thank you as the weeks go by and we get closer to the circles of life, for jumping in and already being there waiting for me on the 30th of January. So well done to you. Now, having said all the thank yous and the why fors, why am I on here today? I've jumped on because over the last, well, mainly over the weekend, but previous in my life, I've had a lot of to-ing and fro-ing, arguments and nasty words and comments go like a bat and ball in my relationship. And now I realise the realisation behind those and why they occurred. So I just wanted to jump on and tell you a little bit about them. Maybe some of you know about it, maybe some of you don't. So how do we deal when you receive anger and bad words from others? Okay, through their words. Well, years ago, if, say, my partner had come home and they'd had a bad day at work or a bad evening at work or whatever, and they'd brought that anger home with them, I would feed it. You know, they would come through the door and say, oh, that was a crap night at work, or that was a crap shift, or this person's done that and peed me off this way, and and I would go, oh my God, shut up, just walk through the door, bloody I don't want to hear about that. And before you know it, they'd be around everything. Yeah, guys, that was me back then. That was me, always got an opinion, always got a comment, always got to make it escalate into a bloody great big bonfire. And looking back on all that, it's just amazing on how far I have come in life, and if I can do it, others can do it. And this is why I like to share it all with you, because 9 times out of 10 now, if I put my hands on my heart and say that doesn't even happen in my household anymore, that doesn't even happen within my lifespan out in front of me, it just doesn't, guys. And that's because I don't comment. I allow them to have their words. I don't comment as in my nastiness back to them, so therefore I don't get it back. Yeah, so you know I always go on about the mirror. You're a mirror and your life is a mirror image of how you're feeling inside. Well, that's what it is. So at the weekend, the mirror image hit me again. Well, it tried to hit me. Should I say. Now, I had a big realisation about loneliness. I did go live about that not so long back. And then, again, once you've done your digging and once you've done your clearing, it just keeps going deeper and deeper, guys. And I'm really going deep right now. And although I've cleared all my beliefs from my past that has stopped me from moving forward, stopped me from hurting, stopped me from believing that I can't do what I want to do and feeling worthless and all the rest of it that goes with it, lonely and all that, although I've released all those now, because they were a belief that I'd embedded in my subconscious mind, I have now gone deeper. So I've cleared the limited beliefs that wasn't really there in the first place. It was just my own chitter chatter and my beliefs that I grew up with. So now the realization is that they're showing me it real, in real context, in real life context. So all those years I thought I was lonely, you know, in my head, because I isolated myself. I did it. I isolated myself. I shut myself away because I felt worthless. And all that. Yeah, I could go on forever. But now, seeing the real meaning of actual loneliness that happened with them 3 people last week, that I actually see and felt in my core of my heart and soul, guys. It really knocked me for 6. Honestly, it did. The tears, the tears was just so tears of sadness. Yeah. For them as well as myself, if I'm honest. And that is my way and the universe's way to help you release, because it will keep showing you. Okay, so now I've had to go back and reclaim all that back into my life. Yeah. And again at the weekend it happened again, but not with loneliness. It was just like other people's. It's hard for me to explain because not everybody will get it, but obviously the people on my page follow me and they get it, so I'm gonna just go with it, and you can send me questions if you want. But like at the weekend, pardon me, it come to my attention through one of my clients that she was like, when my husband don't get what he wants, he gets really raggy, he gets really arsey with me. He's like, you could have done that, you could have helped me, you could have, and I'm like, and I'm just listening and that, and I said, how does that make you feel? Well, she wanted to bite their head off, honestly she did. You know, she wanted to give him back as much as the next person. But just, excuse me, I'm really picked up about some energy here, so there's somebody on there that this is really regating really with, I think, because this has really gone deep with me. And before, when I'd have heard that story, I'd have been exactly the same. I'd have wanted to bite their head off and probably chuck a wet lettuce at them or something, you know, and tell them to go and sling their hook, sort of thing. But stepping back and putting myself in that position, I rewrote it in my head what she was saying, and I played it out in my own context, guys. Okay. So before, if I'd have gone all that, I'd have gone mad and I'd have gone deep into it with them and that. But now, no, I wouldn't. No. What I do say was, don't come at me with your anger because you can't get what you want, because you're going to stamp your feet like a little child. This is what I would think. They're stamping their feet like a little tantrum tempered child because they can't get their own way, and the only way they think they're going to get it, like that child that used to lose their rag, is shout, scream and go mad. Well, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And the thing is, while you're giving into it and while you're arguing along with them, you're just running the race with them. So when you step back and just listen, and then when they're finished, just say, and it's very hard when you've got all these limited beliefs going around in your head that you think you're unworthy, that you think you're not worthy of any sort of being talked to nicely or anything like that, and feel like a bit of doormat. It's very hard to you to keep quiet. But as your releases go on, you will keep quiet and you will just listen, and in the end you'll be that at peace within that you'll just say inside, while this is going on, you'll be saying, well, this ain't mine, it's yours. So you can totally crack on with what you've got to say. You know, you can totally crack on with what you got to do, because it isn't mine. I know it isn't right that they're shouting and screaming at you. No, it isn't. No, it's not. But the moral of the story is, would you rather be battering back at them and allowing that argument to escalate into years and years and years and years and years of hurt and pain, or would you rather sit back and just think and do your inner work, and then at the end of it, if ever that happens again, you just sit there and you just think like I do, it ain't mine, you just crack on. Because what that other person is doing is burying themselves like a little badger in a tunnel of despair and darkness, and it's not your despair and darkness, guys. It's not. Yeah, so please don't ever think it is. Yeah. Now I can go deep and personal, and I will tell you a little story that happened to me. One of my partners sat there and he said, he swore, but I'm trying to think of a word that I can use without swearing. He said, I'm just all messed up in my head. He said, all these things that happened to me in my childhood, it's just messed with my head. And I just listened, you know, and I was like, okay. And it was a funny situation. I actually went through it myself with my children. Yeah. So he said, my dad used to make me eat all my meals, even if I was sick in them and I didn't like them. He would, and you know, and I would like sick them up. He would still make me eat it afterwards. I said, okay. He said, and my mum would sit there with a bowl when he turned his back and said, put it in here, boy, put it in here. And she took it away. So he said, so she was actually helping me, wasn't she? And what he wanted me to say was yes or no. But I just listened. I said, I don't know, was she? He said, well, yeah, because if she hadn't have done that, then I would have had to end up eating all that spooey stuff and that stuff that I didn't like. Just because my father was making me eat it all. I went, okay. So did she actually help you then? Now, it's funny how two people get two different perspectives of things, okay? Well, he said, well, of course. I said, okay, well, if that's your perspective of it, and if that's what you trust that she did, then that's right. So then he turned around and said to me, well, what do you think? And at the time, and the thing I'd actually done that with my daughter. I'd actually stopped her from eating stuff that she didn't want and that she was being sick and everything, because her dad was saying to her, you eat that, because it's exactly what his dad did to him. So he was now doing it to our daughter. And I was like, hang on a minute. And then when he said it, I thought, shit, that is actually what I used to do with with our daughter. He would be the same. He'd be like, you can eat this, and I'd be like that with a bowl. And then I'd whack it over the fence or whatever I used to do with it. And I thought, shit, what a realisation again this weekend. Yeah? And again, he said, well, what do you think then? I said, well, and as I'm hearing what he's saying, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's what I did. It actually had a ha-ha moment, and I was like, no, actually, I wasn't bloody helping. So I said, no, in my eyes, no, she wasn't helping. So he said, what do you mean? He said, of course she was. She was stopping me from eating all this rubbish. I said, because while she was stopping you in the way of taking it away from you, your father was being in control of what he thought he was in control, and it was working, because he actually see your plate empty and thought that you was actually eating that dinner, but you wasn't. So your mum was taking it away, and your dad was thinking that his punishment was working, and that if it carried on, you wouldn't never do that again, and you would just eat it without any qualms. But actually, your mum was taking it away. So what she was doing was giving you a scapegoat, but because your dad thought it was working and he believed it was working, he was going to keep doing it until you learnt your lesson. But it weren't working, was it? Because you weren't eating it. So it just prolonged the whole scenario, because he just kept doing it until you got his way of thinking, and it never did work because your mum was just taking it away. And that's what I thought. I thought, shit me, that's what I've been doing. You know, because if I hadn't done that, and I would, and like if he hadn't done that, his mum hadn't done that, and I hadn't done that to my child, what I should have said, and what we could have said was, actually, that's not acceptable. Actually, we don't like it, and actually, it's not going to carry on anymore. And drawn a line under it, and said that it wasn't acceptable. But what we was saying was, yes, it's happening. It's learning, because it's all going off that plate. So I was helping. Does that make sense, guys? Are you with me? I was helping, and I wasn't helping as in helping the situation, but I thought I was helping the situation by taking it away. But what I was actually doing was prolonging the freaking thing. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that, you know, still to this day, after all these years of doing my inner work, things are still coming up to make me stronger. And the reason I'll share this is because everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants a quick fix. Yeah, even I did when I started my journey. I used to go to my therapist, I used to go to my counsellor, or whatever I called them back then, and whatever we cleared that at that persistent moment, time and space worked for a little while. So I thought, oh, that's it, I'm clear. So I wouldn't go back for months and months and months on end. And then by the times I did go back, I felt just as crap as what I did when I first started. Yeah, because it just doesn't work like that. There is no quick fix, you know. Pardon me. If there was a quick fix of everything in life, nobody would ever get and stay where they are. Never. Because when you do a baby step, you learn all the you learn and you release all the threads. You release all the limited beliefs, the sadness, the hurt, the pain, and then you go back and you re-litigate them with a new belief, a new load of happiness, contentment, serenity, relaxation. You rewrite it. It's like a blueprint, guys. You rewrite your life. Yeah? You rewrite it, and it can be done. And I truly believe that every single one of us can have and live the life that we want, truly want. If only we believed that we can do it. Yeah? But like I say, it's not a quick fix. It's a life commitment. Yeah? Like I said before, you don't become a footballer just by training a couple of times. They do it every day. You don't become a forklift driver and then never ride that forklift. You know, you always learn, and then when they've learnt to drive that forklift, there'll be another test that comes along, and another test, and another test, just to make them a little bit more aware, or a safety precaution or something. There's always going to be a little test. It's a daily commitment, but the more you do it, the more it just comes like putting your shoes on, brushing your teeth, making a cup of tea. It just comes just like off the top of your head. It just does, guys. Okay? So I just wanted to let you know all about my little ha-ha moment this weekend. Very surreal when you know that the beliefs are still coming into your reality, but it's not my beliefs anymore, it's my partner's. So, and it is very hard when they're probably the ones that would just want the quick fix. Do you know what I mean? But because I'm on that journey and I'm way down the line of inner peace and self-reflections of myself, that I know how to react. I know how to not to react as well. And I know that it isn't my beliefs anymore. And I know that they're not my feelings, because I am worthy, I am contented, I am strong within and out, and I am doing exactly what I want to do. Yeah? I am on live stream, I am doing my courses, I am changing people's lives, I am making them aware that there is more out there and that they don't have to follow the same old drill and the circles of life that takes them in and out, dragging their feet along. It makes me tired just to think about it, if I'm honest. But it happens. It happens because we've all got these beliefs. And this is what I say. And this is what I say to like many of my clients. Well, the long, short and tall of it is let me just rewind. I always say to my clients, you have to forgive. And their first reaction is, oh, I'm not forgiving, I'm not the one that done it, they were the ones that were rotten to me, I never did that, no. And I'm like, whoa, it's not about forgiving them, it's about forgiving yourself for allowing it still to be in your life, and messing up every single thing every time you get that ha-ha moment from your past that didn't do you no justice, keeps coming into your life, and then you blurt it out and the pain and the anger comes out of your mouth to your loved ones around you. So what you are actually doing is then people probably not even on the earth plane anymore are still looking down on you and going, ha ha, I'm still controlling you, ha ha, ha ha. Look at you, you're still doing what I used to do to you. Look how unhappy you are. You know, they're not literally doing that, but that's what it is. This is how I explained it to this person over the weekend. I was like, it's you, it's them that are like, well, they're actually still dancing. It's like you're a puppet and still dancing on the strings to their merry little tune. Well, if they're no longer in your life, if they're no longer around, God rest their souls, you know, whatever it is, the past is the past. We can't go back and rewrite it. What you can do is rewrite it from your life today. You could take the steps to move forward. You could take the steps to not wake up and feel hurt in your heart, pain in your heart, depressed, because the darkness is just like a big wet cloud hanging over your head. Yeah, that cloud could go by, that cloud could drift by if only you allowed it. Yeah, and forgiving is one of the biggest things to do on this journey, is to forgive what happened in the past and allow yourself to move forward. It's such a release in itself. Okay, so if this or anything else resonates with you, you do know, because I'm sure you do know, because it's all over my page every day, that a week on Saturday I kick off in the Circles of Life. The waiting list is open, or you can just alternatively jump in and take a look around, see if it resonates with you. Click on the link and join me for the doors opening. The lower end price is going to be open for 24 hours on the 30th, and then it will go up to the normal price, unless I get intuitively guided to do different. But that is what it is at the moment, guys. Okay, so take a look in the link in this bio, take a look in any link in the bio. There's links out there for the waiting list, there's links out there to jump straight in, there's links out there that you could just read, and you know, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. But if you're truly sitting there and watching this video and feel like you've got nothing going on in your life, you feel worthless, you feel tired, you've got no energy, then please give it a go. That's all I ask. Give it a go, give it a read, and see how you feel. Because I've got so much to give and so much to help and guide and support people with. It just melts my heart. And when I get the message, like I said at the beginning of this video, when I get messages like I got at the weekend telling me how much of a change that I do make in people's lives, it makes my heart melt. So thank you for all your messages. I love to you all, and thanks for watching. Please care and share any of my material if you think it will help anyone in the mindset or in person. Take care of you. Bye bye.